Does anyone have a question they'd like to ask? Does anyone have a question?
I have a question, Stuart. Chris.
Yes, please.
Stuart, is it okay to drop negative psychic tension briefly during class?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it's interfering with your class, then just drop it.
Yeah.
You just ask for help to drop negative psychic tension.
Yeah.
Try to do it without moving.
Mhm.
'Cause if you move, you're going to disturb the class.
Right.
Just quietly in yourself say, please help me to surrender all. And be sure you say negative psychic tension, because
Right.
everything is tension, and it'll, you release it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? You'd like to-
I have a question about astrology. I mean, not.
About astrology?
Yeah, actually.
Well, I used to
I've never been so into it. Uh, and lately I've been checking it out. It's been actually pretty interesting when you get deep into it, and it's been helpful, actually. And I don't know, is it wishy-washy? But I've seen that a lot of teachers in the Rudy use an astrologer. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
look, Kendra, I used to go to astrologers, a number of years ago. I went there for a specific purpose. The good ones could project some things in the future, and I could use whatever projections they gave to me as a reason to grow and as a reason to truly evolve in my life. A lot of astrologers are very heady people, and they they just know the map of the cosmos, and when certain planets are in certain places, they're supposed to, I don't know about that. I do know that I used to go to one in India, Professor Thomas, and he was really quite amazing. And he used to really give me signs about what to expect in my future. I remember once he asked me to let me see your hand. I showed him. He said, "What kind of business are you in?" So I said, "Well, I have a candy factory and a bakery." And he looked at my hand and he said, "That's impossible." And he was right. It was impossible because within, I think, 6 to 8 months, I moved back to New York. I gave up the business. The whole thing. So, astrologers can be very beneficial, especially if they really work on a spiritual level. If they work on an intellectual level, it could be a trap. It's just something that could get very boring, actually. But if they work on a spiritual level, that energy flows through them, and it really can give you great hints about how to function in your life. I recommend it highly when you find an astrologer that's really good,
Mm.
and you can use what they tell you to deepen your inner life. But astrologer who's just going to give you some intellectual answer, I would say, go in the other direction. But if you can feel the energy, the power, that astrology, I mean, it's a pretty remarkable gift that you can use to develop your life.
Mm.
You can use it in your meditation practice, what they tell you. I mean, I had a psychic who she lived in Colombia in South America, and she was amazing. I mean, she basically saved my life, this woman. She's now about 96 years old, but this is many, many years ago. I was going through probably the most difficult period of my life. It was unbelievable what I was going through. And her energy, her vision, her wisdom, her surrender inside, the spiritual force that came through her, guided me through one of the most painful and difficult periods I ever went through and got me to the other side of it. So you never know what God sends you. You know, you never know. You have to be open enough to and conscious and wise enough to be able to use whatever is being sent as a way to heal yourself, as a way to grow inside, as a way to get closer to having a spiritual life. I mean, I don't have a lot of that going on now, although I think I kind of need it. I might open to find somebody like that again, who has that kind of insight and wisdom. And they do it without, you know, I mean, they just simply want to serve humanity. Most astrologers are out to make a lot of money. You know, they charge a fortune to do astrology, you know? This particular woman refused to take a centime, a penny from me. She said, no. I said, you have amazing work to do in the world, Stuart. God put you in my life in order for me to take you through this. And it brought a tear in my eye, and it really worked. It really worked. I got through it. And how I got through it is that it brought me to a place inside myself where the answer was, Stuart, you can't fight the people that are trying to do this to you. In your heart of hearts, you have to find the deepest level of forgiveness. You know, what they're trying to do to you has forced you to go so high into the cosmos, to connect with God, to connect with spirit, to bring this particular psychic into your life. You know, that you, in a sense, you know, their insanity, I had to be grateful for it. It really made me grow. And when I came out of that without hating anyone, without being angry at anyone, I came out of it with gratitude that I was able to use the forces available to me to transcend the kind of madness that these people were trying to put me through. All depends on how you use it. And it's not only psychics and astrologers, it's everything in life. Everything in life. I had an experience like that yesterday. I was reading some articles about some people I used to know in the past and what happened to them. And again, I went through a really hard situation years ago. And in reading those articles, I realized going through that impossible situation was nothing more than a blessing. It was a blessing. And I should have no anger at anybody because it really enabled me to get free of something I needed to get free of. I won't go into the details of it, but I read about this yesterday. And I said, my God, Stuart, you can't have any anger at those people. Just be grateful that what took place freed you of an impossible situation. So it's how you learn to use life. Problem in life is, I mean, wars, for instance, nobody ever learns that wars don't work. All they do is kill people. They don't work. You know, and nobody learns this. And they keep fighting wars and more wars and more wars. Thousands of people get killed. And nobody learns anything. Hey, let's stop this. Love works. Peace works. People can thrive in peace. They have a very hard time, unless they happen to own munitions industries, thriving during wartime, you know? And most people don't own munitions industries. So they have to learn what works, what gives life. And then other people have to be able to make these difficult situations work for them. They grow because of them. They become more human because of them. They connect with a higher energy in the universe because of these difficult situations. And again, if you meet an astrologer who's a good astrologer, now that's a rare bird. an astrologer that's a good astrologer. But if you meet somebody who has that gift and they are a servant of God, it is a miracle to be able to use that person in your life, to have a person like that in your life.
I have a follow-up or some kind of thing like that. When I was younger, I got into spiritual stuff and I wanted to astral travel and I love vegetarianism and da 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 da. And I completely left that completely behind. But I feel like I might be kind of not sort of embracing a spiritual life. Maybe I had like a ego problem. Maybe I don't
Andrew,
know.
Andrew, I don't want to interrupt you, but
Yeah, interrupt me, please.
don't embrace it, live it.
Yeah.
Don't, I got to embrace astral traveling. I can embrace levitating. I'm going to embrace all the magical. Just live it. Make it, when you see your family, your friends, the people in you, interact with them with love in your heart. You'll be living a spiritual life.
No.
And you don't have to get into all the circus part of meditation and spirituality and just live it. Let it be a living reality that you're building inside you, that when you deal and interact with people, there's compassion, there's love, there's you in the highest levels of your own humanity dealing. That's a spiritual life. All this other bullshit, just bullshit,
Okay.
but just to love, to be kind to other human beings, to have compassion for other human beings. That's a spiritual life. And all the rest of it, who cares? I used to go through that too. I wanted to levitate. And then I realized, Stuart, this is all stupid. What do I need this for? It's like it's like having a circus act,
Mm.
in the spiritual.
Yeah.
So I just stopped it and I said, Stuart, open your heart, live that way. And I got more results that way than I ever did trying to levitate. Does anyone else have a question they'd like to?
But yeah, but last question. Sorry. What about manifestation? Because I would need to manifest something, but I've never been into it. And I know highly evolved teachers and stuff, they tend to say that there's no point, like, it's not necessary because you don't know what you want really, and etc. or something. But maybe at my level, maybe I should do it. You know?
Look, you get up, you get up in the morning, it's a manifestation of life. You're breathing, it's a manifestation of life. You understand? Everything you do manifests exactly what you are as a human being. As you grow inside, the manifestations grow. Your capacity to deal with the world grows. Even wealth grows. All this stuff grows as you grow inside yourself. That is all a manifestation of you as a human being and the depth of your inner work and how connected you are to spirit. Everything you need to work out your karma will manifest in your life. It will be just given to you. The universe will give it to you. You don't have to make it happen. You'll be given it. If you need poverty, you'll be given poverty just to learn how to work through it. If you need to make $1 billion, you'll get that just to learn how to get free of making $1 billion, what it means to have all that money. et cetera, et cetera. It's just a matter of how we grow inside. That's how the world manifests around. I always say it, and I've said it a lot lately. Spirit is neither positive or negative. Spirit is just pure energy. It's purity. It comes into people, then it becomes positive and negative, depending upon the work people do on themselves. Understand when everybody, in order to live, we need energy. That energy of God, spirit, it comes into us. When people are just neurotic and mad and crazy, that's how it manifests. If they've never done any work on themselves, people that work on themselves, it manifests as love, it manifests as goodness and kindness. They've done the work on themselves to clear the path for that spiritual energy to manifest that way. Other people, it manifests as billions of dollars and money and, 40,000 square foot houses and, all this stuff that nobody really needs to get through the day. But it's a manifestation of their ego, which controls everything they do. And you often look into the eyes of those kind of people and there's something dead there, angry, upset, unhappy in those people. So what manifests is exactly what you are as a human being. And as you grow inside, that manifestation gets more human. There's more love, there's more joy, there's happiness. You can find joy in simple things, in a rose, in a peach, watermelon, whatever. You can find joy in these things. You don't need to live in a 40,000 square. I mean, I used to live in a huge house when I lived in Woodstock. It never made me happy living there. The beautiful architectural masterpiece of a house I used to live in. It was like 7,000 square feet. The house did not make me happy. The spiritual work I did there, having people come and meditating, and that's what created joy in my heart. And then I could enjoy the house. The house became something I really enjoyed. So it's what we are as human beings that determines manifestation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? I hope that what I'm talking about is clear, because to do what I'm talking about, we need to learn to get free of the ego. And when getting free of the ego makes room in us for spirit to truly be nurtured inside us. Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be meditation tomorrow evening and again Thursday afternoon. Thursday at 1 o'clock my time. It's different times all over the world. And I'm really honestly, God bless you all. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Have a wonderful day. And I think the storm has stopped here. That's good. But I still hear that noise and I got to find out what the hell's going on with it. Okay, God bless you all and have a wonderful day. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
God bless you too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stuart.
Bye.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Bye.